All right, we are ready to go. Hey there, welcome to Your Ultimate Life. Today's thought is about your winning ticket. You know, we're in the middle of playoffs for the NFL, for those of you that follow it. I don't, but I did see, the scores come up and the highlights of some games here and there. And it highlights, the culmination of a whole bunch of effort. Yes, this football season, and the individual players have been putting in effort, working and working since high school and then through college and now in the big leagues in the NFL. And now, it comes to playoff season and some win and some lose and some show up in that moment and some don't. And I saw a video the other day where there was a big crisis about a referee call that wasn't the right call and so forth. All those things are happening to us all the time, and finishing football season is just one example. Another thing that's just starting right now is in earnest, finally, they've been talking about it for 6 months already, but is the run up to the election in the United States, at least in this coming November in 2024. And I think it was just the other night they had the first elections in Iowa. Maybe it was last night. There's so much news so fast on all that. At the same time, there was an article about the Ukraine war and how the dithering in the U.S. Congress may cost Ukraine the war. Like they're not passing aid, and Ukraine can't do this alone. Soviet Union's too big and has infinite money from oil because they keep selling oil and people keep buying it. So the oil is buying and they're getting money and creating weapons because they want to take over that. And in the same article or the same news segment, there was a conversation about, their next targets in Finland and Poland. And we live in a turmoil world. And that's not even to mention the conflict in the Middle East, where you've got the main central one, which is Israel and the Gaza Strip, Hamas. But then you've got Iran and the proxies. And no matter which side of anything you're on, it's horrible. Occupation, death, war, struggle, terrorist attacks, murder, cruelty, brutality. It can be enough to discourage anyone. The truth is, I can't fix that. Neither can you. We can do what we can. You can donate to different things, everything from saving cats and dogs and to, hunger rescue missions in Africa and other places, your local neighborhood charities and communities for teens and others that are at risk. All of those things are wonderful and they make us feel good. But today I want to talk about your winning ticket. Yeah, you there in the back. You are powerful. You have the controls of your life. You don't control the outcome of elections. You can contribute by voting if the election's in your state or country. But you don't control the outcomes of wars, and you don't control nutcases that decide to start wars and the brutality of others. We don't individually control that. But you have a winning ticket. A winning life ticket. And I want to talk about that today, because your winning life ticket is going to go unclaimed. Imagine, and I don't play the lottery just because I don't, but imagine if I did or you did, and you had the unclaimed winning lottery ticket for $1 gazillion in your drawer or in your sock drawer underneath the third row, kind of somewhere, right? And you didn't claim it, and there it sat until it either expired, I don't know if those expire ever, or you lost it. And there you had the winning lottery ticket. You could have won $1 gazillion. Now, money doesn't solve our problems. Money makes life easier and magnifies the size of problems, but that's a whole different episode. The idea that someone, you, me, any of us would come into a huge amount of money suddenly always feels appealing, like, oh, that would make life so much easier, so much better. It would solve all these problems. Well, you already have the handle of the levers. The levers to solve your problems are in your hands already. And and that's what I mean by your winning ticket. You have the ticket to create a life like you want it. It's in your sock drawer. And if you don't go claim it, if you don't go redeem that ticket, it won't do any good. It'll just be an unclaimed multi-million-dollar prize ticket in your drawer. And no one would do that, right? No one would leave a multi-million-dollar prize ticket in their drawer. They'd give it to somebody, or they'd claim it and enjoy the fruits or the benefits of that, or they'd donate it, or they'd do something with it so that there would be value added to the world. Okay, but that's what we're doing when we don't claim our divine birthright. That's what we're doing when we don't claim the opportunities we have to add good to the world. That's exactly what we're doing when we sit in the back row, whether it's the back row of life or the back row of an event or the back row of church or anywhere, and think, I'm here because I'm supposed to be. It doesn't matter. My life's too busy. I can't. When we live in that place, and all the good stuff that happens around us doesn't penetrate. It doesn't get past the wall. And what is the wall? The wall of belief that we can't do something. The wall of belief that whatever it is that's possible for others is not possible for us. That somebody else has got the winning ticket and I can't have it. I can't do it. I can't find it. It doesn't apply to me. It's too late, too much water under the bridge, too many obligations, not enough time, not enough talent, too old, too something. Well, you're free, and I'm free to keep thinking that, and that's like leaving that winning ticket unclaimed. Now, if football or lottery doesn't appeal to you, a ticket to the front row of your favorite classical concert or your favorite rock concert, like you wouldn't leave those unclaimed. You wouldn't leave them unused. At a minimum, you'd donate them to somebody if you couldn't go. Of course you would. But that's what we're doing every day. So if I get up in the morning and I live a day of frustration, I live a day of hiding spiritually, physically, overwhelmed by the stuff that's going on around me, then I've left my lottery ticket or my front row ballet ticket unclaimed. Because instead, I could go to that concert and have the full joy of enjoyment of having that thing. I could do that. In life, you can do exactly the same thing. I can start today, and I've done this thousands of days. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do this, where I would look at my day, I would be either intimidated or frustrated or sad that there was nothing in the day that I wanted to do, that the day was full of obligations that I didn't really want to do, feeling overwhelmed, unappreciated, and like nothing's ever going to frickin' change. It's going to stay like that. Recognize that? Well, you there in the back row that think that that's your whole life, it isn't. It isn't. There's two elements here that I want to share with you in this video about your unclaimed ticket. One is to shake off that thought. Who would you be without the thought that you're a failure? Who would you be without the conviction that you can't cut it? Who would you be without the self-fulfilling prophecy that you're never going to make it? Who would you be without that? Imagine you don't think that. You don't sit feeling overwhelmed, underappreciated. Instead, you feel capable, appreciated, powerful, loved, connected. What would you do? What I've noticed is that when I feel frustrated and I stay under the covers, either physically or metaphorically by hiding emotionally, or by going through the day looking at the floor, or metaphorically, just doing what I have to do, resenting all of it, I don't have any idea what's available to me. I don't. I have no clue what's possible. I have no idea what I could actually do. I have a client right now, and I communicate with him several times a day. He's a voluminous texter and voice message leaver. But here's the main thing. Everything in his life isn't going well. There's lots of stuff that he doesn't, maybe doesn't even take control of. Lots of places that he could, quote, criticize himself, improve, etc., etc. But you know what? There is one thing that's absolutely true about him. He creates magic and serendipity everywhere he goes. because he's looking up. He's looking around, looking for those opportunities to be the catalyst. He's not looking for the situation or somebody else to catalyze his success. He's going to meetings and calls and conferences and places and even grocery stores with the idea of being the catalyst, of being the serendipitous element that creates connection and opportunity. That's his way of manipulating the levers. Is there more to do? Of course there is. Are there other things? Yes. Is everything going perfect? No. But that piece is something he's an absolute master at. Now here's what I want to leave you with today. You can stay in the back row believing that you can't cut it and you'll never make it, and then that will become true for you. Or you can grab the levers of your life and make some change, starting right here, right now, because you have the ability to create anything you want. Now, the second thing I want to mention today is the idea of forgiveness. Forgiveness, absolution, erasing. What am I erasing? The baggage you're carrying about what you didn't do or what you did do. No amount of regret, shame, guilt, frustration toward yourself or others for that matter is going to change your present circumstances. It isn't going to change your life. It isn't going to make others different. All it does is weigh you down. So one thing you can do right now is issue a forgiveness blanket. One of the things I say is those who dare greatly fail greatly, so carry a big blanket of forgiveness. When we fail, we often get embarrassed or think, oh no, people are going to think. What if you eliminate all that? What if you immediately and completely and permanently forgive yourself right now for everything that has ever happened to you or that you did or didn't do? What would happen if you did that? Now, I'm not saying pretend things away. There's times when we need to make stuff right and make all those efforts. But what I am talking about is the weight of the self-judgment. The weight of that prison is infinite, and it is eternal as long as we let it stay there. So I'm inviting you to throw it away. I'm inviting you to get rid of it. I'm inviting you to pardon yourself. Love yourself. Right now, you're alive, you're trying, you're starting a new day. You can start it this way, burdened, or you can start it this way, forgiving yourself for anything and praising and loving yourself for trying, for showing up again to the game. My commitment this year is to help 250 million people discover who they really are and create from that infinite possibility. That's not just language, infinite possibility. It's really who you are. You are a divine being with connections to the infinite and power. Just because we don't know how to manipulate it yet, we have this idea we're going to wave a wand and create a pile of gold or solve every problem in the universe with some magic incantation. It's not going to happen. But there is a way to grow your happiness. There is a way to grow your purpose. There is a way to grow your prosperity and your joy right here, right now, today. Now, I usually have a URL on the screen, and I'll tell you what it is. www.yourultimatelife.ca. I would invite you to go there. There's some free stuff there to help you with this process. And if you say, yeah, I already have all that, then it won't do you any good. Because if you have all that and you're not happy, then you're not using it. You're not manipulating the levers. You are living in the prison of self-recrimination, of self-damnation. Why? God is the arbiter of justice, not you. So throw off that jacket, throw off that pain, love yourself furiously for getting up again and getting in the game. Then get in the game and stay on the field. March toward your goal line. Back to the football stuff. If I can help you, that's my mission. 250 million. Reach out, let's talk. You can create your ultimate life.